We'd like to introduce to you today LabLogs, which is a task management system for all of your current paper or Excel logs. It's a great fit for waived and moderate complex testing and all types of laboratories. It consists of 3 or 4 pages depending on the user's access. First, we have the dashboard. This is what the user sees whenever they log in for the day, and it tells them what needs to be done. This is the most visited page in the system. There are also filters for selecting the site and department you're working at for the day. Here we have Blood Bank QC, and it is located at Site 2 in the Blood Bank department, and then the task is to perform QC, and this will populate on the dashboard every 24 hours. The lots for the reagents that are used are automatically captured within the task. The test is ran and the acceptable values are entered, then the user just marks as complete, and the task wipes away for the day. Next is a centrifuge. The task is to wipe down the centrifuge every day, and you would just mark that as complete. Then there's also today a 6-month RPM check that is due on that instrument. The RPMs are checked, and the LabLog system automatically tells the user the result is acceptable. Next, we have a Clinitech that needs daily maintenance and QC performed on it. Again, this is also a 24-hour task, and it's multiple tasks combined into one. So the task is to wipe down the instrument, clean the strip bar, dry the strip bar, clean the white tab on the bar. Once all of that is complete, you just press mark as complete. The same thing applies for QC on this instrument. Just like we did in the blood bank example, we would simply select the acceptable values and then save. LabLogs is also great for temperatures. We have a room temperature that is recorded in Fahrenheit, and the value for today is 70. However, the humidity's acceptable value is between 10 and 80. Today's value is 85. The user automatically sees that the result is unacceptable, and now a corrective action comment is required by the user. This feature avoids deficiencies that can be given during inspections. The task that needs to be rerun remains on the dashboard to remind the user to perform the task again. As the task is rerun and found acceptable, then it is just marked as complete. LabLogs is great for not only instruments, but also Kit QC. It ensures that the IQCP standard is not broken, so QC will automatically be triggered according to your plan. The IQCP task to perform QC every 30 days automatically populates on the dashboard so that users don't forget when to perform this task again. Here, the lot numbers for the kit and controls are also automatically documented, and then the results are entered and marked as complete. Next, we have a pipette that needs its annual calibration performed, so the task has populated. I have the calibration report PDF, so I can just click Attach a File. Then the file can be retrieved from the computer and uploaded into the system to mark as complete. If there is an instrument that the task has triggered, but the instrument is not being used for that day, the user can easily select No Testing. If a task was not completed by the fully customizable frequency that is established at your facility, it appears on the Non-Compliance tab, and then the user has 4 options to complete the task. One option is No Testing, another is Ignore the Miss, and another option is to resolve by fixing the hole. This option allows the user to go in and enter the result that was obtained for the task. When they enter the result, a reason is required for the task not being documented in the system by the required frequency limitation. After that, the user can mark as complete. The last option is Confirm the Miss. This is only used in the event that the task truly was not performed and will count against your compliance scores for the month. Documentation can be entered, and then also you can attach supporting documentation that does not contain PHI to the monthly report. If the user is involved in a sign-off chain, they will have a 3rd tab at the top of their screen. You click on the Signatures tab, and then the reports that user needs to sign can be viewed. They would just click on View Now, and then that monthly report automatically pulls up for them. They can instantly see the compliance score for the department, any failures, non-compliant events, service reports, date changes, or corrective actions. Accreditation licenses are also listed for each department, and a list of the instrumentation within the department is given. It's easy to identify which instrument or instruments did not obtain the acceptable or expected compliance score. In this situation, a refrigerator has a compliance score of 92%, which is given an overall score for the department a 95%. Maintenance logs for each individual instrument are recorded. Within the monthly report, a compliance score is listed on that instrument's report, and then the KPIs change per instrument. So, this instrument only has one date change, and you can see that that was at the very end of the month. It is also documented below if this instrument were to have any events with alerts such as date changes or failures. If you would like to see the details of the date change, you can click on the check mark. You can see the task was completed by Joanne on June 30th at 11:24. However, it was backdated. That is indicated by its amber check mark, and it shows that the date modification occurred on July the 1st at 11:24. If I am reviewing this and would like to add a comment, then I can go and easily enter in that comment. The same applies for the next instrument, and then you can see all instruments that are within the system. You can also see a list of users and the number of tasks that they performed for the month. And here is where you can add an attachment. For example, if you had a corrective action and wanted to add supplemental documentation, you can add that here. Finally, we see our signatures section. Here we can see that one signature is needed for this sign-off chain. Each sign-off chain can consist of one or more users. Here we only need one signature. And that report is signed after I confirm with my 4-digit PIN. So if I were to go back to the original tab, then I can see that there are now just 2 reports. Additionally, the user with the final signature also gets the report automatically available for them to download as a PDF. LabLogs securely tracks all users with a unique ID and session token information that gives you a complete audit trail and user-level access settings. For example, only users with administrative privileges have access to the administration section and pages. The administration page is where all configurations are stored within the system. Administrators can easily go in and add a form or a new instrument by just going to the Instruments page and clicking Add Instrument. They name that instrument, they identify any controls or reagents, and then identify the task. Once that is set, you select the frequency and then save the task. In the case of a temperature check, you would do the same thing. Again, you identify the frequency and add a numeric data field. Select your number reference and save the task. Once that is done, then you're able to finish and save that instrument type. Select the instrument, and now you can add an instrument to any site in any department. Enter the serial number, any tags that may be wanted, and you can press Save. Then for another site, you could also add that same instrument. Assign a label, enter a serial number, and save. Now there is a new instrument at Site 2 and Site 3. The instrument images are also fully customizable. An administrator can select any image that you like for each instrument type as long as it is 400 by 400 pixels. LabLogs is used and appreciated by many types of laboratories. Our comprehensive standards ensure audit readiness and help you both track and report data for labs of all disciplines. From blood banks that are tracking many reagents and quality control tasks, to general laboratories, to our many happy FDA research and pathology labs, LabLogs tracks it all.